Hello, my name is Lily, and today we're going to be talking about redlining and its continued effects on contemporary food insecurity in the U.S. So what is redlining? Well, in the 1930s, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, or HOLC, graded neighborhoods in over 200 U.S. cities as least to most hazardous for lenders. So these go A, or best, B, or good, C, which indicates a decline in desirability, or D, which is hazardous, hence the name redlining. So how were they? Well, unfortunately, a large factor looked at was racial demographics. So if there was a higher concentration of non-white people living in that area, or low-income in general, they were going to be grading those areas as a decline in desirability or hazardous. The yellow and red on that map are basically used as warning signs for white people either looking to move into an area or lenders who people from those areas are asked, for them to invest. They were going to say no because of where they live. So many of these red and yellow labeled areas were areas with higher concentrations of black people. Labeling these neighborhoods less desirable or hazardous barred many black buyers from being accepted for loans, insurance, federally backed mortgages, and were given higher rates of interest because of the area that they lived in. This made it almost impossible for black people to move out of these areas or buy houses in general. The effects of this large-scale racial discrimination are still seen today, even though it was technically made illegal in the 60s. So, food insecurity disproportionately affects black and Hispanic households in the United States. A study published in Agriculture and Human Values looked at this intersection of redlining legacy effects and modern food access. So the study found that neighborhoods with more black people had fewer supermarkets and reduced access to fresh fruits and vegetables. However, they had better access to dollar stores. Areas that were graded in the past as C and D have reduced food access compared to those graded A. And mind you, these grades were given in the 1930s. So supermarkets were also found to be 52% less available in predominantly black zip codes as opposed to white, and 32% less available in predominantly Hispanic zip codes. So this phenomenon of food access disparity is called spatial supermarket redlining. This happens when chain supermarkets would rather put stores in wealthier suburbs than inner city, lower income neighborhoods in general. So this drastically reduces access to every person living in those areas. This happened in Los Angeles, for example. So South LA continues to have reduced food access as opposed to West LA. But the markets that are in South LA serve twice as many people and are less likely to carry fresh produce than West LA. This has been standard since the 1930s, when redlining and discrimination prevented non-white LA residents from accessing or living in suburban areas. So, in conclusion, redlining is a direct contributor to systemic racism, and as a result, where you live can impact your access to food.